Welcome back to Work Energy Lab Reflection Notes. Today, I want to explore recovery in a way that is a little bit different for this space. I do not usually lean on optimization language here because I never want care, healing, or being human to become just another productivity project. But for this episode, I want to name something clearly. If we are talking about sustainable energy, clear thinking, emotional steadiness, meaningful work, and the ability to keep showing up for what matters, recovery is key. And I want to start with a question that might feel simple on the surface. But if you let it sit for a second, it can get pretty uncomfortable. Do you rest because your body needs care? Or do you rest only after you feel like you have earned it? For a lot of us, recovery has become something we put at the end of the list. We tell ourselves, I'll rest once I get through this. I'll slow down after the busy season. I'll take care of myself once everything else is handled. But what happens when everything else never really gets handled? What happens when the list keeps growing? The calendar keeps filling. The responsibilities keep shifting. And recovery keeps getting pushed further and further away. Eventually, the body starts negotiating for us. It gets louder. Fatigue gets heavier. Patience gets thinner. Focus becomes harder to access. The things that used to feel manageable start feeling overwhelming. And sometimes we call that laziness, weakness, lack of discipline, or falling behind, when what we are actually experiencing is depletion. So today I want to challenge a belief that many of us have absorbed without realizing it. The belief that recovery is a prize we receive after productivity. I want to offer a different frame. Recovery is not a reward. Recovery is maintenance. Recovery is repair. Recovery is readiness. And if we're being honest, it's part of our responsibility. Many of us are living by a hidden rule. Rest comes after everything else. It comes after the work is done, the house is clean, the emails are answered, other people are okay, the goals are met, and the pressure eases. And the problem with that rule is that it sounds responsible. It sounds disciplined. It sounds like maturity. But we need to balance that, because if rest always comes after everything else, then it is always at risk of being postponed. And if recovery is always postponed, then breakdown eventually becomes the body's only way to get our attention. Think about how often people talk about rest as something that has to be justified. I deserve a break. I earned this nap. I can finally relax. We say those things casually, and sometimes they are harmless, but underneath them sometimes can be a deeper message. Rest is allowed only when performance has been proven. That message can become especially powerful if you are someone who has been praised for pushing through, being reliable, being low maintenance, or always finding a way. Especially when people count on you, it can feel hard to admit you are tired. When you are used to being the capable one, recovery can feel like letting something drop. But needing recovery does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. Human bodies are not designed for nonstop output. We are cyclical. We have rhythms. We need activation and restoration. We need effort and repair. We need challenge and recovery. There was a time when I thought rest had to come after I had proven I was productive enough, even during a battle with cancer. I would notice the tiredness, but instead of seeing it as information, I treated it like an obstacle, just another piece of evidence that I wasn't measuring up. I pushed harder. I told myself I was just being dramatic. People go through this every day and manage. I told myself I should be able to handle it. But when I look back now, I can see parts of all three of our recurring characters in that season. There was an emerging holder in me, trying to grow and carry more without necessarily building overextension as the proof that I was capable, but it was baked into who I was. There was a bridge builder in me, trying to stay connected across people, priorities, and expectations without realizing I was starting to disappear inside the tension. And there was a quiet holder in me, wanting to be steady and trusted, while forgetting that steadiness in me also needs support, especially during a time of illness or grief. We need to understand that those periods of time take a little more care. That is the turning point I want to invite listeners into today. If you hear yourself in the emerging holder, recovery may be one of the patterns you need to build early, before over-availability becomes the way you prove you can handle more. If you hear yourself in the bridge builder, recovery may help you stay connected without carrying every side of the tension. And if you hear yourself in the quiet holder, recovery may support the steadiness others have come to depend on. Recovery is not about abandoning responsibility. It is about supporting the person carrying it. Recovery is maintenance, not indulgence. If your car needs fuel, do you ask whether it has earned a gasoline? If your phone battery is low, you do not accuse it of being unmotivated. If a machine needs maintenance, you do not call that maintenance selfish. You recognize that systems require care in order to keep functioning. But when it comes to our own bodies, we often turn basic needs into moral questions. We ask, have I done enough to deserve this? Well, people think I'm lazy. Do I think I'm lazy? Am I falling behind? Should I push just a little longer? Here is the truth. Recovery is not indulgence. Sleep, pausing, eating enough, drinking water, stepping away from overstimulation, asking for help, and protecting space to breathe are not signs that you are doing life wrong. They are part of how a person remains available to that life. When recovery is treated as a reward, we usually delay it until we are already depleted. And when we get there, rest often does not feel peaceful at first. It feels restless, guilty, and even unsafe. That does not mean the rest is wrong. It may mean your system has been operating in urgency for so long that slowing down feels unfamiliar. That is one reason recovery has to become a practice, not just an emergency response. If we only rest when we have nothing left, we teach the body that care arrives only at the edge of collapse. But if we build recovery into normal life, we teach the body that it does not have to break down in order to be heard. One of the key emotions that I feel around this particular question is a moral one. I often feel like I am being lazy. I am guilty when I am tired. And so I have started thinking about this in a different way. Maybe what I am calling laziness is actually depletion. So I'm beginning to sit with that a little bit and to really think, is this really being lazy? This is an important question because shame is not a very accurate diagnostic tool. Shame tends to flatten everything. It says you are lazy, you are unmotivated, you are behind, you should be better. But shame rarely asks the right question. It does not ask whether you have slept. It does not ask whether you are emotionally overloaded. It does not ask whether your brain has had any quiet. It does not ask whether your nervous system has been running on high alert. It does not ask whether your body has been carrying more than you have admitted. Sometimes what looks like laziness is actually a body protecting itself from more output. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes procrastination is not a character flaw. It can be a signal that the system is overwhelmed. Sometimes irritability is not simply a bad attitude. It is the sound of capacity running low. Sometimes numbness is not indifference. It is exhaustion with nowhere to go. Now, this does not mean every hard thing disappears when we rest. It does not mean we never have to do things while tired. Life is real. Responsibilities are real. And sometimes we have to show up before conditions are perfect. But there is a difference between occasionally stretching our capacity and building an entire life on ignoring it. A compassionate question to ask is not, what is wrong with me? But rather, what kind of recovery would help me return to myself? Another key question for this space is, what kind of rest actually restores me? This matters because not all downtime is recovery. Sometimes we stop working, but we do not actually recover. We collapse on the couch and scroll for an hour, but our mind is still absorbing noise. We technically take a break, but we are still reachable, still alert, still have monitoring what might go wrong. We sleep, but we go to bed with our body tense and our thoughts racing. We take a day off, but fill it with errands, pressure, and guilt. Recovery asks us to become more specific. Physical depletion may need sleep, food, hydration, stretching, gentle movement, or a true reduction in demand. Mental depletion may need quiet, fewer decisions, a break from screens, or time to let the brain wander. Emotional depletion may need honesty, tears even, support, boundaries, or a safe place to stop performing, to stop masking. Social depletion may need solitude, or it may need connection that does not require you to be useful. Spiritual depletion may need meaning, prayer, nature reflection, or a return to what makes you feel grounded. So when you say I need rest, it may help to ask what part of me is tired. Is my heart tired? Is my nervous system tired? Is my attention tired? Is my hope tired? The answer matters because the wrong kind of rest can leave us wondering why we still feel exhausted. You can give mental noise to a tired mind and call it relaxing, but it may not restore you. You can give isolation to a lonely heart and call it recovery, but it may not nourish you. You can give more productivity to a depleted body and call it discipline, but it may deepen the depletion. Recovery becomes more effective when it becomes more honest. Not what looks like rest, but what actually helps me repair. Another question from this conversation is, what would change if recovery came before breakdown? Just imagine that for a moment. What if you did not have to be falling apart before you were allowed to pause? What if rest did not require an explanation? What if you could respond to early signs instead of waiting for emergency signs? Early signs might be things like rereading the same sentence over and over, snapping at people you love, feeling strangely resentful about ordinary requests, losing interest in things that normally matter to you, making small mistakes because your attention is scattered, feeling tired but still wired, feeling like every decision is too much, feeling like you want everyone to need less from you. Those early signs are not character indictments. They are information. They are dashboard lights. And when a dashboard light comes on in your car, you can ignore it for a while. You can cover it. You can tell yourself it is probably fine. But ignoring the light does not solve the problem. It only increases the chance that the repair will become more expensive later. Recovery before breakdown is the practice of listening while the signal is still quiet. It is taking the short walk before resentment becomes rage. It is going to bed before exhaustion becomes despair. It is asking for support while support can still be simple. It is creating margin before life forces margin through illness, shutdown, or burnout. And as always, I want to be careful because not everyone has equal control over their schedule, responsibilities, work conditions, caregiving load, or resources. Sometimes recovery is complicated by real constraints. So this is not about pretending everyone can simply choose a slower life. It is about asking within the life you actually have, where can recovery stop being treated as optional? Where can care become less conditional? Where can you stop waiting for collapse to prove you need support? If you are used to earning rest, then resting earlier may bring guilt. That guilt might say you should be doing more. Someone else has it harder. You're wasting time. You're being dramatic. You can rest later. When that guilt appears, you do not have to obey it. You can notice it. You can thank it for trying to keep you safe, productive, approved of, or prepared. And then you can ask whether guilt is telling the truth or simply repeating the old rule. Sometimes that guilt is not evidence that rest is wrong. Sometimes guilt is evidence that rest is new. If you have spent years associating worth with output, then recovery may feel uncomfortable at first. It might feel like you are doing something irresponsible, even when you are doing something deeply necessary. That discomfort does not mean you should stop. It may mean you are practicing a new relationship with your own needs. A helpful phrase here might be, I do not have to earn what my body requires, or recovery is part of how I show up, or rest is not a reward for finishing, it is support for continuing. And because this is the rare episode where I am willing to use optimization language, let's talk about the bottom line. Not because your body exists to perform, your worth is measured by output, or every part of life needs to be turned into a strategy, but because some of us have been taught to take our needs seriously only when we can see the cost of ignoring them. So let's be honest about the cost. When you are depleted, everything costs more. Decisions take longer. Small problems feel larger. Communication gets sharper or more avoidant. Mistakes become easier to make. Your attention fragments, and the work that might have taken 30 focused minutes can stretch across an entire afternoon. Recovery protects your capacity. It helps you return to your work, your relationships, and your responsibilities with more clarity instead of just more pressure. It can support better focus, better judgment, fewer preventable errors, more emotional steadiness, and a greater ability to solve problems instead of simply reacting to them. In that sense, recovery is not time away from what matters. It is one of the things that helps you stay effective for what matters. If you care about productivity, impact, caregiving, leadership, service, or consistency, then recovery belongs in the conversation. Even if we use language of optimization for a moment, the point is still deeply human. Sustainable output requires sustainable input. You cannot keep withdrawing from an account you never replenish and then be surprised when the balance gets low. The bottom line is this: rest is not the enemy of performance. Chronic depletion is. Even physical training gives us a clear example of this. Strength is not built only in the workout. It is built in the relationship between stress and recovery. The lift, the run, the hard interval, the long effort, those create adaptation only when the body is given time to repair. Without recovery, training does not become strength, it becomes strain. The same is true for the way we carry responsibility. Effort matters, challenge matters, showing up matters. But without recovery, the system does not adapt in a sustainable way. It just absorbs more load. And systems require recovery too. A system that is always running hot eventually becomes less reliable. It needs maintenance windows, feedback loops, redundancy, and time to reset before small issues become failures. We understand this with technology, teams, machines, and organizations, but we often forget it with ourselves. If the person holding the system never gets restored, then the system is quietly borrowing from a finite source. Recovery is what keeps capacity renewable instead of extractive. So when you choose recovery, you are not choosing to be less committed. You are choosing to protect the quality and sustainability of your commitment. You are choosing fewer crashes, fewer forced resets, Fewer moments where your body has to interrupt your life to get your attention. You are choosing a steadier way to build, care, work, create, and show up. And if that sounds like optimization, then let it be the kind that puts humanity back at the center. So practical recovery practice. Let's make this practical. If recovery is not a reward, then it needs to move from the bottom of the list into the structure of daily life. That does not mean everything changes overnight. It means we begin looking for small, repeatable ways to restore capacity before we are empty, before sustainability is not created by one big reset. It is created by rhythms that keep the system from running past its limits every day. First practice, micro recovery. This is the small reset before you reach overload. It could be 3 slow breaths before opening the next email. It could be stepping outside for 5 minutes. It could be drinking water without multitasking. It could be closing your eyes between tasks. It could be relaxing your jaw and shoulders. Micro recovery tells your body you do not have to stay braced all day. Second, protect sleep as repair, not as leftover time. Sleep often is the first thing we sacrifice when life feels full, but it is one of the main ways the body and brain restore. A recovery-centered life asks what would support better sleep. Maybe that means a more consistent bedtime, maybe fewer screens right before bed, a wind-down ritual, or releasing the idea that you have to finish one more thing before you are allowed to stop. Third, create some transition rituals. Many of us move from one demand to the next with no pause in between. A transition can be very simple. Turning off the car and taking one breath before going inside. Changing clothes after work. Washing your hands slowly. Putting your phone in another room for the first 10 minutes at home. Or writing down what you are carrying so it does not follow you in every space. Fourth, ask for the kind of support that actually helps. Sometimes recovery requires less isolation, not more. It may sound like, can you take this one thing off my plate? Can we make a plan? Can I talk this through without you fixing it? Can I have an hour without interruption? Support is not a failure of independence. It is part of sustainable capacity. Fifth, learn your personal signs of depletion. Make a short list. What happens when you start to run low? Do you get quiet? Do you get sharp? Do you avoid messages? Do you lose creativity or crave noise? Do you feel heavy or feel frantic? Knowing your signs helps you respond sooner. And 6, and maybe the most important, schedule recovery before you think you need it. Not because you are fragile, but because you are wise. Recovery works best when it is preventative. Waiting until you are empty is not proof of strength. Sometimes strength is honoring the refill before the tank is dry. I want to pause here and give you a few questions to carry with you. You may want to write them down, answer them later, or simply notice what comes up as you hear them. Do I treat recovery as maintenance or as indulgence? What kind of rest actually restores me? What am I calling laziness that may actually be depletion? What would change if recovery came before breakdown? and maybe one more. Where am I waiting for permission to take care of myself? Responsibility is often described as pushing through, showing up, getting it done, and not making your needs someone else's problem. There can be truth in parts of that, but it is incomplete. A fuller definition of responsibility includes stewardship. It includes caring for what has been entrusted to you, including your own body, mind, attention, and spirit. You are not just responsible for tasks. You are also responsible for the condition of the person doing the tasks. There is nothing noble about running yourself into the ground and calling it commitment. There is nothing selfish about recognizing that your capacity has limits. There is nothing lazy about repair. When recovery becomes part of a responsibility, we stop asking, how much can I take before I collapse? And we start asking, what rhythms help me maintain and remain whole while I carry what matters? So today, if you take nothing else from this episode, take this. Recovery is not a reward for being productive enough. It is not proof that you are weak. Recovery is how you repair, return, and protect your clarity, your energy, your relationships, and the quality of what you are here to give. It is how capacity becomes sustainable. You do not have to earn what your body requires. You do not have to wait until you are falling apart to listen. You do not have to call depletion laziness just because you were taught to value output over repair. This week, choose one small recovery practice and put it before the breaking point, not after everything is done, not after you prove you deserve it, before. As maintenance, as readiness, as care, as nourishment before demand. And if guilt shows up, let this be the sentence you come back to. Rest is not the opposite of responsibility. Rest is one of the ways I practice it. So, I am so pleased that I will be sharing a conversation with Yolanda Fraction, author of Joyful Workplaces, where we talk more about what it takes to create work environments where people can connect, contribute, and thrive. Thank you for listening. If this episode met you in a place where you have been tired, pushing, or waiting for permission to pause, I hope you let it be an invitation to soften the rules around recovery. Be gentle with yourself this week. I'll see you next time.